In this demonstration, we'll take a look at how to monitor routing elements such as static routes on a Juniper device. To monitor your routing environment and verify that your configuration is what you expect, the first thing I want to show you is we can use the show route command. So after making changes to my routing environment, the first thing that I want to take a look at is the routing table to verify that the route that I've altered or the route that I've added does actually exist in the routing table. So I can see here that the routing table does have a static route to the 11 network. So here's my 11 network. It is a static route. It does have the appropriate or default preference value, which is great. I can also see where traffic is going to be forwarded to from this device in order to reach the 11 network. So I'm going to forward the traffic to 12.0.0.1 out my fast Ethernet port. I can also see here in my routing table that I do have the 12 network available as well, and that's available to me because I am directly connected to it via my fast Ethernet port 0/0/0. So the first thing that you want to do when making changes to your routing environment is use the show route command to verify that the appropriate entries have been added or removed. Now, there are variations of that command, so another version of the command that I do like to use is the show route terse, which shows it in more of a table format. So a little bit easier to look at, especially when you have larger routing tables. Now, the other option that we have available to us as well is if you wanted to monitor changes to your routing environment, is that we do have trace options available. So you could go and set up a trace file, have all the events recorded to that trace file, and then just look at the trace log file later on in life. So that's what I want to show you how to configure here. So let me go back into my configuration mode with the edit command. Once in the edit command, I'm going to set my routing options, and I want to set the trace options. The file that I'm going to go and write to is a file called routing table changes, and I'll call it 2. So this has set up a file for me to start logging routing changes. Now, I haven't specified that yet. My next option, so all I've done is specified the file. My next option will specify the types of entries that go into this file. So the trace options that I want to write to this file are flagged as, and there's many different types of events here. If I use the question mark, notice that one of the event types is route. So trace routing information. So I want to go and trace any changes to my routing environment. So I'm going to use the flag route. Then I'm going to go and alter my routing table. Actually, let me commit that. So the next step is what I want to do is I want to make a change to my routing table. So I'll add a static route. And then after I add the static route, I'll turn around and delete the static route. But let me just go and use my set routing options. And I want to add a static route to 19.0.0.0. And I'll say the next hop where we send that is 12.0.0.1. So any traffic for the 19 network is to be sent over to 12.0.0.1. So I'll do that, then I'll type commit. So I've added a new static route, and I did that after I enabled tracing on route events. So if I go back to operational mode and I use the show log question mark, I'll see a list of log files. And I'm looking for, there it is there, I have a file called routing table changes. Changes 2. So I'll hit enter on that, and you can see that it contains routing information, so events that have occurred. So if I scroll through my list here, so we can see here there's an add event, right? So September 2nd, 19.0.0.0 has been added. It is a static route with a preference of value, right? You know, we forward the information over to the gateway of 12.0.0.1. So this is a very useful tool for monitoring changes to your routing environment, is to set up tracing of route events. So in this demonstration, we saw how to monitor static routes.